Did you know that by age 75, the average American loses 45% of their muscle mass compared to their 30s? This silent epidemic affects millions, often leading to loss of independence and increased fall risk. Yet most doctors never discuss the proven solutions that could help you maintain your freedom and quality of life. I'm Dr. Robert Collins, geriatric specialist with over 25 years of clinical experience, and I've witnessed something remarkable. While many seniors struggle with daily activities, a special group I call Vitality Agers maintain the strength and mobility of people decades younger. Their secret? 7 science-backed habits that can help rebuild muscle strength even if you're in your 70s or 80s. The most important habit, something your doctor likely never mentioned, could transform your independence and quality of life. Before we begin, give this video a thumbs up if you want more evidence-based health content for mature adults. Let's start with the foundation that makes everything else possible. Today, 1. The foundation: progressive resistance training. The single most powerful habit for rebuilding muscle after 60 is progressive resistance training. Unlike the original video, which saved this for last, I'm putting it first because it truly forms the foundation for everything else we'll discuss. At the National Institute on Aging, researchers have conclusively shown that no other intervention, not medication, not supplements, not diet alone, can match the muscle-preserving effects of properly performed resistance training. In my 25 years of practice, I've seen this transform patients' lives repeatedly. Now let me address some common concerns. Many of my patients initially worry about joint pain, injury risk, or think they're simply too old to start. These fears are understandable but largely unfounded when resistance training is done properly. Age-appropriate resistance training looks very different from what you might see younger people doing at the gym. It doesn't require heavy weights, complicated equipment, or even a gym membership. The key principle is creating enough resistance to challenge your muscles, then gradually increasing that challenge over time. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old patient of mine. When she first came to see me, she couldn't get up from a chair without using her arms for support. We started her on a simple resistance program using resistance bands and bodyweight exercises 3 times weekly. Within 6 months, Margaret increased her strength by 40% and regained her ability to climb stairs confidently and play with her grandchildren on the floor. For those with mobility limitations, seated exercises, resistance bands, or even water-based resistance training can be remarkably effective. The beauty of resistance training is that it can be modified for nearly any ability level. Many don't realize that Medicare often covers physical therapy sessions where you can learn proper resistance training techniques. A few sessions with a qualified therapist can set you up with a safe, effective program tailored to your specific needs and limitations. Are you already doing some form of resistance training? Comment below and share what's working for you. Now, once you've started the right movements, fueling your muscles properly becomes crucial. 2. Protein timing strategy. Once you've established a resistance training routine, how you fuel your muscles becomes critically important. As we age, our bodies develop what scientists call anabolic resistance, meaning we don't process protein as efficiently as we once did. This isn't just about how much protein you eat, but when you eat it. In my practice, I see this scenario repeatedly. Seniors consume most of their protein at dinner, often with a small breakfast of toast or cereal and a light lunch. This pattern misses crucial opportunities for muscle building throughout the day. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published groundbreaking research showing that older adults should spread their protein intake evenly across meals rather than concentrating it at dinner. Each meal presents a roughly 3 to 4 hour window for muscle protein synthesis, your body's muscle building process. What does this look like in practice? Aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal. For breakfast, consider eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie instead of traditional low-protein options. For lunch and dinner, incorporate lean meats, fish, dairy, or plant-based proteins like beans and lentils. I understand budget concerns affect many seniors. Affordable protein sources include canned tuna, rotisserie chicken, cottage cheese, eggs, and legumes. Even peanut butter can be a good protein source when paired with whole grain bread. Many of my patients take medications that can affect protein digestion or appetite. Common culprits include certain blood pressure medications and acid reducers. If this applies to you, discuss with your doctor how to optimize your medication schedule around meals. Here's what I typically see versus what's optimal. Most of my patients consume 10 grams of protein at breakfast, 15 grams at lunch, and 40 grams at dinner. The optimal pattern would be 25 to 30 grams at each meal, giving your muscles 3 daily opportunities to build strength instead of just 1. Have you been timing your protein intake throughout the day? Let us know in the comments below. Now, even with perfect exercise and nutrition, there's a critical component many seniors miss entirely. 3. Neuromuscular connection. Preservation. Even with perfect exercise and nutrition, there's a critical component many seniors miss: the vital connection between your brain and muscles. Think of this connection like electrical wiring in your home. You can have the best appliances, but if the wiring deteriorates, nothing works properly. These connections, called neuromuscular junctions, begin declining around age 60. Fascinating research from the University of Michigan shows that Vitality Agers maintain these connections far better than their peers, regardless of muscle size. Let me explain this simply. When your brain sends a signal to move, it travels along nerves to reach your muscles. At the junction where nerve meets muscle, a chemical messenger called acetylcholine triggers the muscle to contract. With age, these junctions can deteriorate, leaving muscles less responsive, like a phone with poor reception. The good news? Specific activities can preserve and even restore these connections. Activities requiring precision and coordination send targeted signals that strengthen these pathways. In my clinical experience, patients who regularly engage in activities like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong show remarkably better muscle function than those who only walk or use stationary equipment. Did you know playing ping pong is more effective for certain aspects of muscle function than walking? The rapid hand-eye coordination and unpredictable movements create stronger neural pathways to your muscles. For those with mobility challenges, seated Tai Chi, hand coordination exercises, or simple ball-catching activities can be effective alternatives. Many senior centers and YMCAs offer classes specifically designed for these activities, and Medicare Advantage plans often cover fitness programs that include coordination training. Safety is paramount. Start with supported movements if balance is a concern. A chair or counter nearby provides security while you build confidence. What coordination activities do you enjoy? Share your experiences below. Next, let's discuss how specific nutrients act as the spark plugs for your muscle engine. 4. Strategic micronutrient support. The right nutrients act as the spark plugs for your muscle engine. While protein provides the building blocks, specific micronutrients ensure your body can effectively use that protein and maximize your exercise benefits. In my practice, I focus on 3 critical nutrients that most seniors lack: magnesium, methylated B12, and creatine. Let me explain why each matters. Magnesium is a mineral that acts like a key that unlocks your muscles' ability to work properly. University of Vermont researchers call it the overlooked electrolyte essential for muscle health. Yet over 70% of seniors don't get enough. Without sufficient magnesium, your muscles can't contract and relax properly, and they can't produce the energy they need to function. Food sources include dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate. However, many seniors benefit from supplementation, particularly magnesium glycinate or threonate forms, which are better absorbed and gentler on the digestive system. Next is methylated B12. With age, our ability to absorb B12 dramatically decreases due to reduced stomach acid production. Common medications like metformin for diabetes and proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux further deplete this vital vitamin. B12 deficiency directly impacts muscle energy production and nerve function. When supplementing, look specifically for methylcobalamin form rather than the cheaper cyanocobalamin found in most multivitamins. This active form is ready for your body to use immediately. Creatine may surprise you. Many think it's just for young bodybuilders. However, McMaster University research shows seniors supplementing with creatine experience significant increases in muscle mass, strength, and even cognitive function beyond strength training alone. Just 3 to 5 grams daily can enhance muscular energy production. Many of my patients are surprised to learn that statin medications, commonly prescribed for cholesterol, can deplete CoQ10, an essential nutrient for muscle energy production. If you're on statins and experiencing muscle fatigue, discuss CoQ10 supplementation with your doctor. Before starting any supplement regimen, consult your healthcare provider, especially if you take medications. Many insurance plans now cover comprehensive nutrient testing, which can identify your specific deficiencies rather than guessing. Have you had your vitamin and mineral levels checked recently? Let us know below. Now let's discuss one vitamin so critical for muscle function that researchers call it the muscle vitamin. 5. Vitamin D optimization. There's one vitamin so critical for muscle function that researchers at Harvard Medical School call it the muscle vitamin, vitamin D. This isn't just about bone health. Vitamin D directly activates genes responsible for muscle protein synthesis and growth. What's alarming is that over 80% of American seniors have insufficient levels. This deficiency silently undermines your strength in ways most doctors don't fully explain to patients. Your muscle cells contain specific vitamin D receptors that, when activated, trigger pathways for muscle development and maintenance. A landmark study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels demonstrated 25% greater muscle strength compared to those with deficiencies. They also showed markedly improved balance, coordination, and reaction time, all critical for preventing falls. Regional considerations matter significantly in America. If you live in northern states like Minnesota or Maine, you may need more supplementation than someone in Florida or Arizona. Even in sunny states, many seniors don't produce enough vitamin D from sun exposure because our skin becomes 50% less efficient at vitamin D production as we age. Through blood testing, I've found that Vitality Agers consistently maintain vitamin D levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter, while the average senior often tests below 20 nanograms per milliliter, a range considered deficient. Most seniors require between 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily to achieve optimal levels, far above the standard recommendation of 600 IU. Here's something crucial many doctors miss. Vitamin D works in partnership with vitamin K2, which ensures calcium goes to your bones instead of your arteries. Without sufficient K2, found in fermented foods and certain animal products, high-dose vitamin D supplementation may potentially contribute to arterial calcification. Most Medicare plans and private insurance now cover vitamin D testing. I recommend all my patients get tested annually, especially before winter months, when levels typically decline. The recommended daily allowance is actually far below what research shows is optimal for muscle preservation. This disconnect between official recommendations and current research leaves many seniors unnecessarily deficient. Do you know your vitamin D level? Share below if you've had it tested. Next, we'll discuss how even perfect nutrition can't overcome a silent muscle killer affecting most seniors. 6. Inflammation management. Even perfect nutrition can't overcome this silent muscle killer, chronic inflammation. Researchers now recognize that low-grade, persistent inflammation, often called inflammaging, plays a significant role in muscle loss among older adults. This quiet inflammatory process triggers molecular pathways that break down muscle protein faster than your body can rebuild it. What's particularly troubling is that inflammation interferes with anabolic signals, the messages that tell your muscles to grow after exercise or protein intake. A landmark study from Tufts University revealed that older adults with elevated inflammation markers lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with lower levels, regardless of their exercise routine or protein consumption. What causes this inflammation? The American diet contains numerous triggers: processed foods, refined sugars, industrial seed oils, and excessive red meat. Environmental factors, stress, poor sleep, and certain medications can further fuel the fire. For my patients, I recommend 4 key anti-inflammatory strategies. First, prioritize sleep quality. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted rest in a completely darkened room. Inadequate sleep can raise inflammatory cytokines by as much as 40%, directly accelerating muscle breakdown. Second, focus on gut health. University of California research shows that age-related changes in gut bacteria directly contribute to systemic inflammation. Incorporate a variety of fiber sources, aiming for 25 to 30 different plant foods weekly. Include fermented options like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut, which are rich in natural probiotics. Third, approach exercise intensity strategically. Consistent movement is essential, but excessive high-intensity exercise can increase inflammation in older adults. Aim for moderate-intensity exercise most days, with brief high-intensity intervals once or twice weekly. Fourth, incorporate specific anti-inflammatory compounds, omega-3 fatty acids, 2 to 3 grams daily from fatty fish or supplements, curcumin from turmeric, and polyphenol-rich foods like berries, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil. Many of my patients are surprised to learn that their typical breakfast of toast, orange juice, and coffee actually increases inflammation. The refined carbohydrates cause blood sugar spikes that trigger inflammatory responses. Track your inflammation levels through a simple blood test measuring high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, or THS-CRP. Vitality Agers generally show levels under 1.0 milligrams per liter compared to the average senior, with levels 3 to 5 times higher. What anti-inflammatory foods do you enjoy regularly? Share your favorites below. While reducing inflammation helps protect your muscles, our final habit takes a completely different approach. In fact, it might seem counterintuitive at first. Intentionally exposing yourself to certain types of stress can actually strengthen your muscles. Let me explain this surprising discovery. 7. Hormetic stressors. Now for the most surprising habit, one that seems counterintuitive at first. Vitality Agers regularly expose themselves to specific types of mild stress, which scientists call hormetic stressors. This practice follows the principle: what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, in small, controlled doses. Hormesis describes the beneficial effects that come from exposure to low doses of agents that would be harmful at higher levels. Simply put, certain challenges can make you stronger, particularly your muscles. Research from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging shows that brief exposures to specific stressors can trigger cellular protective responses that maintain muscle integrity and improve function, even among individuals in their 80s. The first hormetic stressor used by Vitality Agers is temperature variation. Short exposure to cold, such as finishing showers with 30 to 60 seconds of cool water or brief cold plunges, stimulates brown fat, enhances mitochondrial biogenesis, and activates a hormone called adiponectin that protects muscle tissue from degradation. Similarly, heat exposure through saunas or hot baths activates heat shock proteins, which repair damaged muscle cells and inhibit protein degradation. A Finnish study found that regular sauna users experienced 40% less muscle loss over a decade compared to non-users. For American seniors, implementation can be practical and accessible. Many YMCAs and community centers offer sauna facilities at affordable rates. At home, contrast showers provide similar benefits without special equipment. The second hormetic stressor is time-restricted eating. By limiting eating to an 8 to 10 hour window each day, Vitality Agers activate autophagy, the cellular cleaning mechanism that removes damaged components and improves muscle quality. Salk Institute findings show this practice can improve muscle mitochondrial function by 10% within 12 weeks, regardless of weight loss. Safety considerations are paramount. If you have diabetes, heart conditions, or other chronic health issues, consult your healthcare provider before implementing these practices. Start gradually with mild exposure and progressively build tolerance. For those with limited mobility or health restrictions, even mild forms of these stressors can provide benefits. Simply reducing room temperature slightly or extending the time between dinner and breakfast can activate similar pathways. You might be surprised to learn that a little bit of stress is actually good for your muscles. The key is that these stressors should be brief, followed by adequate recovery periods. Would you try any of these hormetic stressors? Which one interests you most? Let us know in the comments below. We've covered 7 science-backed habits that can help you rebuild and maintain muscle strength at any age. Progressive resistance training, strategic protein timing, neuromuscular connection preservation, micronutrient support, vitamin D optimization, inflammation management, and hormetic stressors. Remember, you don't need to implement all 7 habits at once. Start with the foundation, resistance training, and gradually add others as they become comfortable routines. The most important takeaway is that significant muscle loss is not an inevitable part of aging. With these targeted approaches, you can maintain independence, mobility, and vitality well into your later years. The choices you make today will shape your strength and autonomy tomorrow. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based health advice for mature adults. Which of these 7 habits will you start implementing this week? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for investing in your health and vitality. Here's to staying strong at every age.